Ever wondered how medieval castles kept their secrets? Behind those massive stone walls, a hidden world of spies, secret passages, and double agents played out like a real-life game of chess. And trust me, the kings weren't always winning. Let's talk about the original surveillance system, medieval castle architecture. Those thick stone walls. They weren't just for keeping armies out. Builders created a maze of hidden passages called listening galleries that ran between the walls. Servants could slip through these narrow corridors and press their ears against carefully placed holes, catching every juicy bit of noble gossip. Think your modern smart home is clever. These castles had built-in spy networks. The Great Hall might look fancy, but it was basically medieval reality TV. Every whispered plot, every secret romance, every political scheme, the servants knew it all. And those decorative wall carvings, some were actually cleverly disguised peepholes. The nobles thought they were having private conversations, but really, they had an audience hiding just inches away. Let's head to the medieval castle kitchen, the original CIA headquarters. Medieval cooks weren't just whipping up fancy feasts, they were running their own spy networks. Every royal kitchen had a poison taster, someone who'd sample the food before it reached the noble's plate. But here's the genius part. These tasters used their position to gather intel. Think about it. While everyone worried about poison in their soup, the kitchen staff traded secrets like recipes. Servants from rival houses would swap gossip during food deliveries, and cooks knew exactly who was meeting who for those private midnight snacks. And when nobles got tipsy at feasts, the kitchen crew heard all the tea medieval style. Let me introduce you to the medieval world's sneakiest construction workers, the secret space specialists. These builders were like the James Bonds of architecture, creating false walls so convincing that you could stare right at them and never spot the door. They'd build entire rooms that looked solid from the outside but could swing open at the push of a hidden lever. Some castles had escape tunnels nicknamed priest holes, originally built to hide Catholic clergy during persecution, but they became perfect for stashing anything or anyone that needed to disappear fast. The best part? These builders were so secretive that sometimes they'd build escape routes without telling the castle owner, just in case they needed a quick getaway themselves. Ready for the real MVPs of medieval espionage? The servants. These folks weren't just cleaning chambers and mucking stables, they were running the most effective spy network in town. A chambermaid folding sheets could accidentally overhear marriage plans, while stable boys swapped secrets faster than horses swapped stalls. They created this wild underground network where information was currency. A cook trading castle gossip for market news, a washerwoman selling noble secrets for extra coins. It was basically medieval LinkedIn meets WikiLeaks. And the best part? The nobles never suspected a thing. They'd walk right past their servants like they were invisible, which made them perfect spies. Talk about hiding in plain sight. Think medieval spies were low-tech. Think again, these folks were rocking some seriously clever spy gear. Take the hollow walking stick, a medieval USB stick if you will, perfect for smuggling secret messages right under everyone's nose. And those fancy noble canes. Some had hidden compartments that could hold tiny scrolls or even poison. But my favorite has to be the fake beard collection. Spies would carry around different facial hairstyles to transform themselves faster than a YouTube makeup tutorial. They even had special wax tablets that looked blank but revealed secret messages when heated. Medieval invisible ink. The really fancy spies had rings with hidden compartments, and some even hollowed out book pages centuries before anyone thought of hiding phones in dictionaries. Want to know the ultimate medieval spy hack? Becoming a traveling merchant, monk, or minstrel. These were basically the VIP passes of the medieval world. Think about it, merchants could wander into any castle with their goods and nobody batted an eye. Monks? They got free food, shelter, and everyone's confessions. But the real masters of disguise were the minstrels. These medieval rock stars could crash any party, from peasant weddings to royal feasts. They'd stroll in with their lutes, sing a few catchy tunes, and boom, instant access to all the castle gossip. The best part? Everyone got so caught up in the entertainment, they'd forget the harmless performer was memorizing every detail of the castle layout and every whispered conversation. Medieval castle parties weren't just about fancy food and dancing, they were a spy's dream come true. When nobles threw a feast, the castle turned into a security nightmare. Hundreds of guests meant hundreds of unfamiliar faces, and guards couldn't possibly check everyone. Spies would slip in disguised as musicians, jugglers, or even noble guests from far-off lands. Some clever agents would arrive days early as servants helping with party prep. They'd map out guard rotations, spot the castle's weak points, and sometimes even plant inside agents for future missions. The real genius move? Showing up as a wine merchant. Because let's be honest, nobody questions the person bringing more drinks to the party. Let me tell you about the wildest double agents in medieval history. Take Sir John Hawkwood. This guy switched sides so many times, even he probably lost count. He'd fight for one Italian city-state on Monday, then their enemy by Friday. But the queen of medieval double-crossing? That's gotta be Margaret of Burgundy. She played the French and English courts like a chess master, until, plot twist, both sides figured it out. Oops. Then there's the infamous case of Hugh Despenser, who spied for both King Edward II and his enemies. Pro tip: don't spy on medieval kings. Hugh learned this the hard way when they caught him. Let's just say his retirement plan was permanently cancelled. These medieval double agents lived fast, spied hard, and usually met pretty dramatic endings. You won't believe how sneaky medieval spies got with their secret messages. They turned everyday castle life into a giant game of hidden codes. Those beautiful tapestries on the walls, they weren't just fancy decorations. Spies wove specific patterns, colors, and symbols into them to pass messages right under everyone's noses. A red rose might mean danger, while a particular bird pattern could signal meeting tonight. And those wandering musicians weren't just singing for their supper. They'd slip coded messages into their lyrics. Change the chorus slightly, swap a few words, and suddenly that catchy tune about lost love becomes instructions for a secret mission. Even simple objects like candle arrangements or the way servants folded napkins could carry messages. It was like medieval Morse code, but with tablecloths and wall hangings. Let me tell you about some spectacular medieval spy fails that would make James Bond cringe. There's the story of Thomas Norton, who tried disguising himself as a wine merchant in 1465 but got totally busted because he held his cup like a nobleman. Classic rookie mistake. Or how about the spy who hid in a castle chimney to eavesdrop on a secret meeting, then ruined everything by sneezing from all the soot? My favorite has to be the would-be infiltrator who memorized an entire fake noble family tree, only to blow his cover by using the wrong hand to eat soup. These spies learned the hard way that medieval espionage wasn't as easy as it looked, sometimes with hilariously messy results. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through medieval espionage. If you enjoyed uncovering these sneaky castle secrets, smash that like button and subscribe for more historical shenanigans. Share with your friends, unless they're double agents.